I view all this political turmoil as a consequence of the breakdown of language as a result of the proliferation of information and the rate at which we receive this information. The language cannot keep up, and it's also becoming very disorienting and very confusing. And well, there's also parallels there with the Tower of Babel, where as man was building this, I mean, in that case, a literal tower trying to get up to heaven, but maybe in this case, more symbolically, as a technology that can make us comparable to gods, or conceivably make us comparable to gods. But in the pursuit of that, we actually end up losing ourselves in it, in this pursuit, and we become aliens to ourselves. Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing different references out there.
You're totally
but
right. Your intuition about it is right. Like it's the problem of supplementarity in general, especially the idea of increasing yourself this way and thinking that if you, like you said, like if you have the perfect structure, and then it'll be fine. And it's in the sense of technology as well, because this is the secret of supplementarity, the secret of anything you add to yourself. Technology is that it both makes you stronger and weaker at the same time. Every single technology. It's like my ancestor had to sweat like crazy to start a fire with a bow and a piece of wood or whatever, and it was really hard, and they had to spend 20-30 minutes trying to get their fire started. It's like, wow, I'm so lucky now. I've got a lighter. I can just go click and I can start a fire. So I'm way more powerful. I'm 100 times more powerful than my ancestor. What if I don't have a lighter and I don't know how to start a fire anymore?
With that, okay, that actually.
Think about that with memory now. Like ancients, if you look at the Greeks, they had these internal libraries. Would go into their internal library and they would have a representation, either visual or just conceptual, a classification system, and they could pull out entire chapters of the Iliad and just recite the Iliad to you, right? They could learn the Psalter and they could recite the Psalter to you without any damage, and it required extreme discipline and extreme effort, and it was very difficult. Now we have a phone. And the phone will give you everything, any information you want, anything you want, but you don't remember anything anymore.
We're sort of outsourcing.
Don't even know their own phone number.
We're outsourcing the capabilities of the mind onto external material.
So it's like it is the supplementarity of in the mind. Like this is what information technology does, is that it exteriorizes the interior process, and it gives you the sense, but it actually does make you more powerful. So it's not false that it makes you more powerful, but it also makes you weaker, and it also makes you interiorly weak, which is why I think like one of the reasons I think for the mental breakdowns and like just the mental health crisis that we're seeing has to do with that as well. And one of the reasons also why people are now completely possessed by the narrative, like completely possessed by political narratives, is because they've outsourced thinking. They just receive this information from the news or from Twitter or from wherever their bubble is, and now they feel like they're extremely powerful because they have this coming to them. But that is it's a dangerous space, because you can see people can be completely manipulated in terms of their thinking.
Yeah, right. And it's almost happening at an increasing rate, it seems. Again, kind of aligning with the rate of technological proliferation or improvement. But I want to actually even go back further with this, because in some ways, you mentioned a fire earlier. In some ways, fire is almost an original or either the original or an original technology, depending on how you look at it. And, and obviously Lucifer or Satan is always symbolized with fire, with hellfire, with, this light that challenges God almost is kind of the idea of Lucifer, if I'm not mistaken. And
because Lucifer actually just means the morning star.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's an image of the idea that before the sun rises, there's a star that appears in the sky. It's Venus, and it's the morning star. And it's very bright. It's the brightest star in the sky. That's the joke. It's like it thinks that it's the brightest star in the sky, but it's only real if it reflects the sun. It claims that brightness for itself. It's an illusion because when the sun comes up, Venus disappears. The morning star vanishes. So that's the whole imagery of the morning star and Lucifer is about this secondary fire, you could say, something like that, like a subsidiary fire, which people grab and hold on to and raise up and think that this has value in itself. It only has value to the extent that it reflects something high, or else it becomes parasitic and becomes, and so that's the whole imagery of Lucifer. And image of stealing the fire from the gods, for example, you have that in the Promethean myth, where it's like we take the fire from the gods and now we want to use the fire of the gods to make ourselves independent from the gods. But it's like that fire only exists as a subsidiary of what is above. That's the imagery, let's say, of why we use that term to talk about the opponent. The Satan is Lucifer.